The reason I take this topic so seriously and I really wanted to put out this video as well is because a couple years back I did have like one of my best friends commit suicide. I didn't really think about it and how much it still affects me to this day until I just said it. Welcome back to my channel. My name is JayTalk, founder of JayTalk, and thank you all for tuning in. We're coming up to the end of September, which means we're almost in the last quarter of 2020, a very roller coaster of a year to say the least. I just wouldn't have felt right if I didn't make this video and bring more awareness to what this month is kind of about. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about Suicide Awareness Month. I feel like this is just such a pivotal time to have this conversation, not just because of the quarantine, the coronavirus, all the politics that are coming into play, that everything that's just been surfacing this year, but also because of the statistics of suicide. It's so important to talk about. These are one of those tough conversations, one of those tough JayTalks to even create, to sit here and create. It's kind of hard to formulate all of my thoughts and words around this subject. So below in the descriptions box, I'm gonna have a lot of links, some social media accounts that you can follow, whether it be on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever social site you use, Facebook, and just to bring more awareness to this thing. Suicide is currently the 10th leading cause of death in America. To break that stat down just a little bit more, it is the second leading cause of death between the age range of 10 years old and 34 years old. It is also the fourth leading cause of death between the ages of 35 and 54. Almost 50,000 Americans die in the United States every single year due to suicide. Men are 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women as well. And to touch on that statistic for a second, I feel like it may be because men are, I guess you could say, stigmatized to be alpha and always in control and always have it together. Men do need those affirmations and reaffirmative words and actions as well. So to give you that average of 50,000 Americans a year, that is on average 132 people every single day dying by suicide. Recently, I just saw another study on how those from 11 to about 16 years old is such a pivotal point, and they're more likely to cause self-harm and probably attempt or commit suicide. And that could be coming from the increase in social media, whether it be not just instant gratification, but seeing these figures and highlights of others' lives that may seem like on the surface that is better than theirs and that their life is worthless. And I'm here to tell all of you out there, no matter what your age is, you do matter. You are not worthless by any means. There is somebody out there who loves you, who cares about you, and they're just so thankful that you just exist. So 11 to leading to 12 and 13 was really some big years for me. I know I talked about it my middle school years in the About Me video. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check that out. Growing up, I can admit that there's been almost like 1 to 2 times that I've almost come close to doing such a thing, and I'm not proud to say that. Like, it's even hard to even say that on camera and put this out to the world. But it's a tough thing that needs to be recognized because of how serious it is. It can be anybody, and you never know. It could be your best friend, and you never would even know. Some reason that I never really talked about suicide to people is because I always felt like I was a burden. Nobody actually really cared, or people may have thought I was doing it for attention. To dive deeper into that, people who go through these suicidal thoughts and processes, they're not looking for attention. They need help. And I say that in the utmost respectful way because I was one of them. We don't do it for the attention. Trust me, there's a lot of other ways to seek attention and get attention than talking about your depression and your suicidal thoughts. So I always felt like I was a burden. I always felt like I was going to be exposed for attention seeking and what have you. And I'm quite sure that I am speaking to a lot of those out there who may have been going through the same thing, or may even be going through the same thing right this very instant. So for those who are watching this video and have never been through such a thing, be kind and try to understand those who do or those who have. It literally takes $0 to be kind to someone. It literally takes almost no effort to shed some positivity and some light into this world. Take Chadwick Boseman, for example. Black Panther was fighting stage 4 cancer for the past 4 years. He was getting so much backlash and humiliation from everybody talking about his weight loss and wonder if he was like doing it just for a film or for attention. And then boom, now 3 weeks ago, he ended up passing away from his stage 4 cancer. So granted, he didn't commit suicide, but that right there is just an example of you never know what somebody is going through. You never know what battle somebody is fighting. So just try to be kind to anyone and everyone. Try to shed as much positivity into the world because there's already enough hate. I consider that to be one of my slogans when people tell me, you're always so happy and positive. And my answer is always, there's already enough hate. Why not be positive? And speaking on behalf of others who don't like to talk about their process of things and they don't want to feel irritable, it's already hard enough to ask for help. We as human beings are already programmed to want to do things on our own. I don't know, I'm going to speak for myself and for men. Us being that alpha, we are primed to be strong and courageous and kind of have it all together. But most of the time, that's typically only the case on the surface. And so asking for help is already hard enough for any other aspect of life. So asking for help in a manner of something as serious as this can be extremely, extremely hard. So I encourage you, reach out to your friends, reach out to your loved ones, let them know how much you care about them, let them know how much you cherish them in your life, because you never know what they're going through. 10.3% of Americans have considered suicide before. It may not seem like a lot, but there are millions and millions and millions of Americans. Just sit and think about just how big of a number that is when you really break it down by percentage. And typically 50.5% of suicides are committed with the firearms. I'm aware that we have the Second Amendment where we are all proud Americans. We love having firearms. Well, some do, some don't. That's 50-50. Again, that could go into politics. Not gonna go down that route. But I say that to say this. If you have struggled with this type of process and you do have firearms, keep them locked away. Have people in your life or in your household who are going to hold you accountable and not want to result to something like that. And if there's somebody around you in your household or your friend group who has these type of processes and thoughts, try to keep firearms away from them or try to keep them safe, keep them tucked away. I mean, they should be anyways, but that statistic, when I saw it, it just scared the hell out of me. Like 50% of suicides are committed by a firearm. The reason I take this topic so seriously, and I really wanted to put out this video as well, is because a couple years back I did have like one of my best friends commit suicide, and it was hard. It was hard, and it still affects me to this day. It still affects me to this day, and I guess I'll tell like the craziest story about it is like I was with them the day before, 2 days before, and didn't, I guess, spend enough time with them. I don't know. But I don't know. It haunted me. I don't know. I wouldn't go as far as saying it haunts me, but I didn't really think about it and how much it still affects me to this day until I just said it. So let's continue with the video. So I thank God for all of the groups on all types of social media that raise more awareness about this, because it is growing. That number is growing at a high rate, at an uncontrollable rate. Some things that I think can help suppress that number and take it down a lot more tremendously would be through investments, educations, programs, research, and more awareness. And that's something that we all can partake in as a community, as a nation. I love that people are making this a lot more mainstream. If there's anything that needs to be more mainstream, it's things like this and mental health. So I'm so thankful for that, of the awareness that has been raised this month. And to those who may be affected by this every day, I want to let you know that you are not weak. Because you have these thoughts, because you're going through this, you're not weak. You're actually stronger than half of the United States, because you have a struggle. You have struggles that you go through just like everybody else, but the way that you cope with it may be different from everybody else. And I want to let you know that having those thoughts and having a tough time in life does not make you weak. The fact that you can survive and live to see another 24 hours and put a smile on your face and go anywhere and light up a room, that is what makes you strong. That is what makes you loved. That is what makes you appreciated. And that is why you matter, because we need you and we love you. There's somebody out there who needs to hear from you and wants to love on you and are glad that you exist. Once again, I just have to let you know that. Even though life can be hard and life gets very, very tough, once again, there's going to be a lot of information down in the descriptions box, social media accounts, websites, phone numbers you can call that can really help us get through this crisis as a nation and really knock that percentage down. Let's raise awareness and let's pick people up. And to those who need to be picked up, just know that you are loved by the grace of God and by the grace of those people around you. You are loved and you do matter. I love you and I'm thankful for every single one of you. Stay blessed. Peace.